I know what I like to do in my spare time, rebuild a jet engine, right? We're going to discuss it today in the hangar. Welcome to In the Hangar. I'm Christy Wong.
I'm Bailey Ward.
And I'm Dan Milliken. And we are brought to you by a lot of sponsors. Check them out in our description. We're going to have a little bit more information at the end. Christy, we're talking about jet engines?
Yeah.
In garages.
I mean, why not, right?
All right, so a TikTok star, we haven't had that on the show yet.
Wait, what's TikTok?
It's just a thing that the young people do.
Okay.
Hey, easy.
Jack, thank you so much for coming all the way here to be on our show.
Yeah.
All right, so, well, Bailey, you're kind of young. He's like younger than you. He's like 13.
Well, he's actually not, though. I had a panic attack.
I was told he was 42.
So, Jack, set us straight.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yeah, so I'm 23, graduated college back in May of 2022. So I get it on the internet a lot that I look 13. I just kind of roll with it nowadays. So
you're like, yeah, middle school vibes.
Yep, basically.
Okay, so you are building a jet engine in your garage. Tell us about that.
So this all started out about last summer. Actually, 2 summers ago. I was an intern at Textron Aviation in Wichita, and I was driving around one day, as I do, and happened to see a T-37 tweet sitting in the back of a junkyard. And it wasn't an airplane boneyard, it was a literal junkyard in Wichita. That's just what you see in Wichita. And so I was like, I have to have that. But at the time, I didn't have the space. So fast forward another year, now I'm full-time at Textron, of course, and I gave the guy a call at that junkyard and ended up buying it from him for $2,500 delivered. And the reason I bought it is it had a jet engine in it still. It still had one J69 T9 in it. It's a 2-engine jet. And so I got it delivered right before Oshkosh is when this happened. And so I decided, I want to take it apart and start working on the jet engine. My goal in life is to have a fighter jet or fly fighter jets. That's like my only goal. Like everything I do, literally everything I do. The reason I built
okay, most people join the military to do that.
Yeah.
But you're
He's like, forget it. I'm just gonna build
It's-
my own jet.
Yep. So I have
fighter.
kind of a crazy story. I actually have a leg that was kind of crap. So I've had a bunch of surgeries on it, like 16 surgeries on it, and I don't know. I give it a 50-50 whether I can get past the medical board or not in the Air Force. So that's still my goal. I can still run and jump. I can still pass the physical tests, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get into it or not. So
This is a backup plan.
so this is like my backup plan is to, that's why I started my social media stuff is because I want to make a bunch of money.
So you can create your own Air Force.
Yeah, basically, yes.
If they won't let me in theirs, I'll just make my own.
That's the goal. And so,
I love it.
So, I built this audience because it might let me ride with the Thunderbirds and Blue Angels eventually. I found out they're extremely hard to get a hold of, but but it'd be amazing to ride with them someday. And then also because social media can be a lot of money, and it's going to cost a lot of money to fly my MiG-21. So I've been kind of trying to go on the civilian route, but back to the jet. The reason I bought it is because it's something I can learn on how to tweak on the jet and kind of figure out how to work on it. And of course, it's good for the videos, and it's a very interesting series, I guess, and or at least the internet thinks so. And it just kind of helps bring my content to where I want it to be. Working on a bunch of other projects too, but that's how I have a jet in my backyard.
Your background is that you are an engineer.
Yes.
At an aviation. You're an aeronautical engineer.
Yes, I studied aerospace engineering at University of Kansas, and I've been flying since I was 12. I joined Civil Air Patrol when I was 12, started flying with them, got sold on my 16th birthday, got my license at 17. It's kind of a flex, isn't it? No, not really, but did that, and so when it came time to go to school, it was kind of just obvious as like, do I go do business or do I go do, finance or whatever, or do I go to aerospace engineering school? So I did that.
And create your own Air Force.
And it was,
exactly,
it was not a fun time, but it was absolutely worth it. The degree's tricky, to say the least, but it was absolutely worth it. I absolutely love my job now, but.
Well, would you say that this side project of working on your jet engine, Air Force in your garage has helped you in your career?
Yeah, I mean, somewhat. Right now I'm a certification engineer, so international certification engineer. So I'm not doing a whole lot of technical stuff at my job now. I am doing a lot of coordinating with foreign CAAs, their versions of the FAA, And so I don't really deal with propulsion stuff because, I am mostly working on propulsion on my backyard jet. But, so I don't know if it's per se helped me in that regard, but I do think it's made me a more well-rounded engineer just because you have to deal with all sorts of stuff with the jet engine.
What do your neighbors think?
Yeah, so I actually talked to them about it. They liked it. The cool thing about Wichita is everybody around there seems to like airplanes. So my neighbor is a Spirit guy. He works at Spirit. And, I asked him one day if he cared, and he's like, no, I think it's awesome. Because
until somebody burns down that neighborhood.
And just some things to clear up that people always, get wrong about. I get a million comments a day like, hey, you're never gonna get that thing flying. It's blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like I don't have they miss the fact that I don't have the wings, I don't have the tail, I don't have a second engine, I don't have any avionics. I just have the fuselage and one completely shelled out engine. And the other thing that people think is that I'm gonna blow myself up. Which,
he's gonna need
fair.
Clemens insurance.
That's fair. No, that's absolutely fair. I know what uncontained rotor failure can do. It's not good. But the plan is to make a FADEC for it, or at the very least some sort of remote controlled system, and then I'm gonna put it on a hill, and then I'm gonna go really, really, really far away, like behind the hill, so I can when it explodes.
I like how he's already preparing.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% prepared for it to explode. Like I actually kind of want it to happen because
oh my god,
it'd be really because the thing is, what am I gonna
the views.
when I'm done with this? I don't have plans for it, so what am I gonna do with the jet engine in my garage? But it's a lot easier to get rid of if it's in a bunch of pieces.
Thought about
Put it on your bicycle that you use to go to junior high.
It's a lot easier to carry in a bunch of chunks instead of just one big old jet engine. So this is just the very, very beginning of kind of the projects I have planned, and really it's just because I'm budget constrained. I've been making a lot of income from social media. YouTube and Instagram actually pay you, whereas TikTok doesn't. TikTok's just crap. I really don't like TikTok. I just happen to do it.
Same.
But yeah, it's dumb. Instagram and YouTube have been just as easy to blow up on too. I mean, I've done 130,000 subscribers in the last 20 days.
Wow.
Just because people want to watch you blow yourself up.
Exactly. And so I'm starting to focus on YouTube and Instagram more now because they actually pay. And like I said, MiG-21 isn't cheap. Well, actually, MiG-21 is pretty cheap. You can get them for $250, $300K. The gas is not. The jet fuel is
the fuel costs that
something like a few grand just to start it up. So again, I'm still hoping to go Air Force or Navy or whatever,
or create
wherever
your
I
own.
can go.
Yeah.
You lose style points when you blow yourself up, though. I just
right. No,
I don't know. The
I wear
Army might
glasses.
take him because of that.
True.
I wear
It makes for
safety
better
glasses.
stories.
It's no problem.
Yeah.
Easy. Okay.
So I should be fine.
PPE.
But, so that's still a backup. I mean, most ideal, if I get into the Air Force and can go fly, fighters, I'll delete my channel tomorrow. I don't really care. This is literally just for that purpose. But I'm 100% prepared. If not, I've got a friend that's got an L-39 that I've been going up in, and trying to. I still need a lot of experience, pilot experience, before I'm even close to able to handle a jet like that. But I'm just as interested in working on the jet too. So if I bought a MiG-21 tomorrow for $70K or something that's not quite airworthy, it might take 5 years and a whole bunch of money and a ton of time to fix up, but that's the fun part for me too. I would love to work for 25 hours for 1 hour of flight. Like that's totally cool with me because
you need to call Jimmy from Jimmy's World.
He does a similar thing.
Never with a jet though.
That's it's not cheap, but we'll see. I've got a long ways to go. Got a lot of time to do it because I'm 13. I have.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got your private license when you were 13, which is unbelievable.
Yep. First person to get the license at 13. Yep.
Yeah.
No.
And what are your certifications right now as a pilot?
So I've been kind of lazy as far as like check rides go. I'm only IFR rated and everything, but
Only
I'm
IFR rated.
I for the amount of time I've been flying, I really should have progressed farther. I'm working on commercial right now.
Oh.
I actually stopped doing any I didn't really do a lot of flying in college, A, because it was really, really busy, and I was just trying to not fail out.
Right.
And B, once I knew I was going to Textron, we have this insane flying club. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but we have this amazing employees flying club. Basically. But we have the Textron Aviation Employees Flying Club. And for instance, we get a brand spanking, all of our airplanes are brand new. And they're $70 an hour wet for a brand new 172.
Oh my, you did not just say that.
And a 182, I'm trying to get people to come to Textron. I need more friends there. So
I want to join your club.
It's $100 wet for a brand new 182T. 145 wet for a 206 stationary turbo.
I want to
and 160, I believe, or so, or 170 around there for a G36 Bonanza, all brand new. It's ridiculous.
I want you to notice he never said the word Piper.
Yeah, no Pipers there.
It's
No Pipers.
Textron.
It's nothing
I'll take
against
the
them.
Bonanza. It's also a low wing.
Nothing against the Pipers,
fair.
but yeah, we have an all Textron fleet, and we even have a 170, an old 170,
wow.
all polished up aluminum. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's
I
so
think it's
cool.
like 80 wet or something like that. Yeah, so
So
yeah.
in order to join your club, you have to join Textron.
Yes, that is honestly by far the biggest perk of Textron. I love Textron all around. You know, it's a great culture. You know, people I've noticed that come to Textron stay at Textron. So there'll be a lot of people that have been there for 30 years. And but besides all that, the flying club alone is just an incredible deal.
Well, we need Textron to start sponsoring some of the influencers like you and us.
Yeah, hey, you know, I would love
I
for
like
that
airplanes. I mean, tell them I said that.
Yeah, it's been kind of a unique relationship because, you know, I am an engineer there, but I also want to help out with the social media because, you know, just like any company now, we need heads to come build airplanes.
Right.
And so I see a huge potential to where I could bring in a whole bunch of heads. And really kind of the deal I'm trying to make with Textron is I want them to, you know, let me go do some cool stuff every once in a while. Like, let me go up in a longitude, or let me do, you know, that's going to go up flying anyways. Like, just, you know, I'm not picky. Like, just, I don't know, throw me up in something and, you know, let me go to, you know, air shows and stuff, which they are. Like, they sent me to Oshkosh.
You could also use that with the Air
Yep,
Force.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
send me up in
Oh, yeah, no,
something.
for sure. I'm 100% trying to do that, too. You know, Thunderbirds or Blue Angels would be awesome. But if there's any unit that has anything that's, you know, sporty, that would like to take me up, I would absolutely, you know, love that because that's literally why I built the channel. So
I mean, I have a Warrior.
yeah,
So-
that's pretty cool too. That's pretty cool too. No, I'll go up on the Warrior any day. I did my private in a Warrior, so
See, so then you know.
yeah, I did both Cessna and Warrior.
If
for
you
my
didn't
private,
tell
but-
Okay,
Textron.
No,
which one?
that was
Yeah.
before.
I was gonna say, yeah. All right, what would you tell any young aspiring jet aficionado
Yeah.
that wants to build a jet engine in their backyard? What would you tell them?
So I think a lot of people have these crazy ideas. Like I've got a lot of ideas, but I think what I do that is kind of rare is I actually I'm crazy enough to just go do it. You know, it probably wasn't the smartest idea to go, you know, blow $2,500 on this jet, you know, right out of college. And, you know, I bought a house, so I've got a lot of, you know, payments coming in on that. And, but, you know, overall, it's been probably one of the best decisions I've ever made because it's, you know, the revenue that's brought in is, you know, way more than the $2,500 just from the views alone. So I guess just do it. You know,
do it.
go to a junkyard, go to a boneyard or something, and pick up if you want to do kind of, you know, specifically what I'm doing, just go. There's junkyards all over the place or boneyards, and you can pick up an old fuselage and play with it. I mean, it's I guess the biggest challenge is space. You know, like I said, I couldn't buy it the first year because I didn't. You know, I still living with my parents or in my apartment in Lawrence, but now that I've got a house and a backyard, I can just, you know, have the space.
So we can buy it and keep it at your house, right?
Yes.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on what. Depends on what.
Okay, we'll see. We'll work on it.
I wouldn't mind restoring a Corsair, F4U Corsair. We could do that in my backyard.
That would be cool.
Could we?
I'd-
that would be
absolutely.
really
All right.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, that and just I mean, getting a pilot's license, I feel like is a really good first step to get if you want to get into aviation. Like no matter what path you want to go, if you want to go engineering, you want to go maintenance, you want to go any path, getting your pilot's license is, you know, a really good step. Just because you start to learn how airplanes work. And by the way, another ad for Textron, we get not only do they have these super cheap airplanes, but they also pay for all your ratings up through CFI.
What?
Whoa!
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. So, you know, I guess that's another like step you could take. Join Textron as a, you know, riveter, and then, you know,
Okay,
go
don't
get your
listen to
ratings.
this.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, I'm not
Daily earmuffs.
It's a great place. But yeah, that's another, you know, route you could go. And, you know, once you have your pilot's license, or Civil Air Patrol is another great route. If you're young, if you're, you know, 12 or older, between 12 and 18, you can become a Civil Air Patrol cadet. And that's an amazing program. You know, it gets made fun of all the time because, you know, you're marching around in the uniform and it was, you know.
Uniforms are cool.
It's you know, it is what it is, but the flying is amazing. They have you know, the world's largest fleet of single-engine piston airplanes.
Yeah.
And they're all really nice usually. And that's
They're all Cessnas,
yeah,
huh?
And they're all
they're all
usually
Cessnas.
Cessnas?
Yeah,
Yes.
there you
What,
go.
Yes.
what was the face?
Yeah, but they're all they're super nice as far as helping you get your ratings. That's really what helped me get my rating at such a young age is Civil Air Patrol. and a bunch of other, just perks to it. You get to work with all sorts of cool stuff. I got to go on a few C-130 rides and stuff like that.
Nice.
So, Civil Air Patrol for anybody that's young. And, we also have senior members, too, that are any age, and they do missions for search and rescue and, save a lot of lives every year flying around with the airplanes and doing ground team stuff. So CAP's a great place.
And that's what I thought was so cool and interesting about your story is that you've allowed so many people to recognize that to be in aviation, you don't just have to be a pilot.
Yeah.
There are all these other different routes
Yep.
that are really cool and exciting, like working for Textron or doing just fun stuff like this in your spare time that people don't know about, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's so many different paths you can go down, in aviation, and maintenance is a great place too to look. Right out of high school, you can go to some tech school if you don't want to go through the whole, pain that and expense that college can be, like the aerospace engineering school was. You can go to a tech school and get your A&P, and have an immediate job waiting for you right out of the school. Pays really well, and I don't know, all the A&Ps I talked to seem to like it. As a matter of fact, that's my next goal. I'm trying to get my A&P. Yeah, it's that's.
Will Textron pay for that?
Yes, they will. So,
Golly.
I'm telling you, it's a great place, and they really take care of their employees.
So I think the takeaways from this episode are airplanes are cool.
Yes.
And get a job at Textron.
Get a job
Absolutely,
at Textron
absolutely.
and just do it.
Yeah, and
exactly.
Everybody makes fun of Wichita, but it's actually a really, really great place. I love it.
Oh, I have no problems with
If
it.
you like airplanes, it's like
That's the place.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like
And
everybody
Stearman
there.
Field's out there,
yeah, and
too.
Stearman Field, the bar and grill out there is awesome. I go out there sometimes, fly a Bonanza. I've got a Bonanza that I'm. It's kind of interesting arrangement, but I'm taking care of it for a guy that lives out in New York.
Of course you are.
And so so I fly a Bonanza around. That's my main hot rod. I take that all over the place.
I like Bonanza.
And it's a great airplane. It's I take it to Stearman sometimes, and
Nice.
I mean, even I keep it in Wichita, so it's not like it's a long flight, but
Right. Yeah.
but I also have another airplane too, actually, that is mine. That's a Quad City Challenger, 2-seater.
Holy cow.
Light sport, pusher prop, 2-stroke on the back, so you just have to always be prepared to land in a field.
You're an interesting dude.
I dabble in a lot of things.
Yeah, no kidding.
But,
Awesome. Well,
yep.
this has been very, very insightful.
Yes, it has.
Absolutely.
It's been interesting.
Last question.
Yeah.
So what's next for you on your channels?
Yeah,
We're going
that's
to
a
see
great
more
question, yeah.
YouTube and less TikTok. What's your
Absolutely,
plan?
yeah. So I'm still gonna post on TikTok and Instagram and the short form stuff, but up until this point, I've really focused on short form because that's all I know how to make. I'm terrible at making long form. I hate editing, so
Same.
I feel like it's 90% editing and 10% doing something when you're
It's
doing
exactly
long
what
form.
it is.
Right.
And so
that is accurate.
But I'm gonna start focusing on long form because it's where the money is, and I can take those clips and break them into short form. But as far as projects go, I've got a lot of crazy things, in my ideas list. One of them that I really want to do is I want to go start static testing airplanes. So I want to go to the boneyards again and get something, and for instance, an old Cherokee wing. And I want to see how many G's it will take before it, breaks. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm flying an old 1960 airplane, I'm always thinking, as I'm going through turbulence, I'm like, I know the engineers did these calculations, and I know we've planned for fatigue and all those things, but I really want to know what load factor these things can actually handle. So that's
That'd be interesting.
kind of an interesting project I figured would be good for YouTube and also just kind of fun. Of course, I need to get the jet engine running. That's a big project. I've got a lot of work to do still. And at this point, I originally was going to take it all the way apart and try and get it as fixed up as I can, but I can't find any parts, of course. Because
Now you're just gonna have to make them.
Yeah, and it's actually I mentioned
3D printer.
the J69 T9, which most tweets out there, like all the T37Bs, is the J69 T25. And that's because I think I actually have the very first T37 ever built. It's an XT37.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's actually probably belongs in a museum instead of being beaten up in my garage. But so it makes it even harder to find parts because it's an old T9 variant, and so finding a compressor or something is going to be impossible. And it's all my compressor's all foughted out, so it's got all these giant nicks in it, and it's probably going to explode. But
Oh my gosh.
So you're just going to go find one that's working, and it'll be like a cooking show where you've got the one you're beating up and everything else.
Yes.
And then the one that's really pretty.
all done.
yeah. Yep. that's the idea. But yeah, that's kind of where that's one of the next big projects I want to go into. Of course, as I start to make more revenue and save up a little bit, I want to get like an L29, ideally for the next year or two, and start working on, getting it airworthy and flying it. A T-33 would be really cool too. And I mean, it's a lot of money. I understand. Everybody's like, "Oh, you can't afford to fly that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know it's $3,000 or $2,000 or so to fly it per hour."
Right.
But like, to me, like I said, maintenance is just as fun on it. And being an experimental airplane, in theory, I can work on it, myself, and which is kind of fun. I like experimentals. The Challenger's also experimental, so I've swapped the engine on it, pulled the wings, and all that stuff myself. But yeah, that will kind of get fed into the channel too, of course.
Well, that's your answer. So get this engine working and put it on your Challenger. And,
Yeah. Oh man,
Frank
it's
can
probably
plane this.
still
Frankenplane.
even
yeah.
with the blades all fighted out and everything all corroded. It's probably still 1,000 times more reliable than the good old fashioned Rotax 503.
Yeah, right.
I've already lost the engine twice.
Oh.
Wow.
That's why I had to pull the wings and pull the engine, and that thing is it's a lot of fun to fly until the engine quits. But,
Well, yeah, it always is.
yeah, exactly. But
Well, Jack, we wish you luck with your backyard Air
I
Force.
appreciate it. it.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Jack, for joining us today.
Absolutely.
This has been really interesting and fun. Please, if you like our content, share, subscribe, like, and also go check out Jack's
Yeah, for sure.
channel. We're going to go ahead and post the link to that in the description below.
And also thank you to our sponsors who make this possible, make it where we're able to get this. All our sponsors are run by a pilot, and they're in our aviation family. So help support our aviation family. Supporting them supports us. So thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
In the hangar.